Jeremy here from Flatware Creations. I just wanted to hop on and just show you what I'm doing. I was thinking I should probably show this off in a video and help you guys out with possible problems down the road. So I'm working on, hi Gus, I'm working on hollow handled knives, and these guys passed the ting test, so they're hollow, but I couldn't get them to separate. I couldn't get them to separate at the blade. I guess. So what I did was I've started cutting the handles off, and I'm doing that with my bandsaw. I experimented with it first using my hacksaw. Sorry about the other camera. Using my hacksaw. This is a metal blade. I forget how many teeth per inch, but it's for cutting metal. Because as you cut down into them, they have a steel core that goes up into it, like so. What is going on my screen? Come on, Gus, hop down. Let's see. I think Gus was messing with stuff. Okay. Nope, still pulled over. Okay, so it just moved all my chat over to my camera here. Okay. All right, as long as it's still recording. So we have this shaft that's going up into the knife handle, and this is stainless, so we don't want to cut into this with our bandsaw, especially our bandsaw. So what I did was I did a test strip, and not this one, here's the other one, this is the one I wanted to show you. You want to say hi? Go ahead and say hi. Okay. So we have two handles here. They're both the same length, and they are both, let's see, which pattern is that? These are the same pattern. There we go. The difference is this one is hollow and I was able to cut it off. These longer ones, you can see how much longer they are. The longer ones I started to cut into without getting to that shaft part, and it's either solder or some other metal in there. I'm gonna have to take that apart and experiment with it. But these I was able to cut apart, so I matched up all of the ones that were shorter so that I didn't waste my time on the longer pattern that had more that metal in there. Come on, Gus, down, get down. So I took those out. What I'm doing is these patterns are all taking the ting test, and I cannot get them apart. Torched them, tried prying them off, nothing. So I wanted to show you guys how I take care of that. So what I'm doing is I'm going to be going right along this edge here, and I'm going to push into the bandsaw to where just the blade, I can feel it go through, and then I'm slowly going to keep the knife away from the blade at the same distance and try and rotate it. Now you can go around it a couple of times if you want, But if you get it to where it's nice and even, just let the blade do the work. You shouldn't have to push at all. That should come right apart. So I've got the other camera zoomed in. Had the other camera zoomed in. Let's see what Gus did. He killed my other video. Properties. Change that to that. Change it back to that. Gus is helpful, but some days not. Okay, now let's try this. Properties. Deactivate. Activate. Okay. So it's showing it's up there. Oh. Let's get rid of this. How did he copy something? Remove. That's weird. Okay, Gus, what'd you do with my screen here? It's not bringing up. Transform, hide in mixer. Nope. Let's try this one. There we go, we got something. Windowed. So the camera is working, it's just making it to where it's not loading here. Gus, you're fired. Sorry everyone. Trying to get the camera figured out here. Alright, let's get rid of this guy and we'll just start over. New. There we go. Configure video. Okay. We're going to pull this guy. Gus, making things hard. Down, buddy. Down. You're ripping my shirt. Alright, we want this one. Move down. Sorry about this, guys. Stretch to screen. There we go. All right, we'll move me down here. There we go. So, sorry about that. Gus doesn't even have opposable thumbs, and he did something crazy. Okay, well that's cool. It's still zoomed in. That's just weird. Okay, so I have the camera set up here. You can kind of see the motion once it gets through the metal, and before it hits the steel pin. You can kind of see where I stop it, and you'll just watch me rotate it, and you'll kind of hopefully you see what I'm doing enough to where you'll be able to do it at home and without having to use a torch on these that won't come apart but are definitely hollow. Let me hide this guy. Oops. Cancel. Hide. Okay. All right, so let's get started. I have all of these guys to do. Very pretty pattern. These I put in my save pile because I knew they were hollow, but I didn't want to get rid of them until I knew for sure that I couldn't use them. So let's get this here. Let me say hi. And whenever you hop on, say hi. Let me know you're here. If you like the video, give us a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. It really helps my channel out. And I'm going to keep making videos no matter what. But if you can hit that subscribe button, it'd be awesome. All right. I'm pretty sure the microphone cuts out the really loud noise based on previous. So let's see how this does. Where's my eyes? Here we go. So while I'm doing that, hopefully you could see how I was pulling the knife away. Hopefully, there we go. Hopefully you can see that how I was pulling the blade away. So that you could see that I wasn't letting it go far enough to, I wasn't really pushing hard at all. It was just enough to get it to go through, and once I felt that little release of tension, then I pulled it back a little bit towards me and I started the roll to get it to start cutting through the edge. And once you get to each side, you can kind of feel where it lets go and you don't have that pressure. And then same thing all the way around. And the first one you saw, I didn't quite go through all the way, so I just pushed it just a little bit more to catch that little bit. So it takes some finesse, but you can get these off with your bandsaw or your hacksaw. Like I said, the first one I did to test this out, I was just using my hacksaw with a bimetal blade. I think it's 14 TPI. No, it's 34 possibly. It's got a lot of teeth and it's made for cutting metal. I've been using those for a long time and they've really lasted. But so test it with that. Always also test it against a magnet so that you can see if the handle is ferrous metal or not. I've dulled quite a few blades trying to cut through these, and then to find out that the handle actually was magnetic, so it had steel in it, and dulled my blades just like that. So I always test with the magnet, and since I know that they're hollow, even this one I know that it's hollow, but you can see my cuts, and neither one of those cuts are hollow. So I'm thinking I'm going to give this one a shot and try, actually let's give it a shot right now. So the big camera's up. All right, so I'm gonna put this guy back where it goes. And let's see if we can get this thing to do what we want it to do. All right, let's get this here. Okay, bring that down there. Actually, that camera's off again. That's so weird. I haven't had this much problem with this camera at all. Deactivate. Activate. Nothing. Apply. Okay. There we go. Problems, problems, problems. Camera, zoom. Okay. Hi. I can see you. So we're going to go ahead and torch this thing. Can't see through my glasses. Let's get this guy down. Here, bring it down here, and I'm just going to grab my propane torch. Down here somewhere. Guys in here a little closer. There we go. Okay. Grab my All right, so we're gonna just kind of heat this up. And we'll get kind of a first-hand view. Zoom. So I do see it starting to fizzle, so it's acting like solder. Yep, it's solder. Make sure you get all that solder out of there. So we found out that this, why is my camera giving me problems today? So we found out these longer handles that I put back in the bag, I only had 3 of them left. These 3 will come undone. But you can see here, it's wider. You can see that the white is where I heated it before and it didn't come apart. But this just came apart nice and easy. So I don't know what the deal is. Yeah, that's solder. So we'll heat these up, get those out of there. Yeah, so I think that's it. If anybody has any questions, leave me a comment. Yeah, sorry, my brain's not working tonight. I have about 6 more hours of cutting bud vases and building bud vases. So I just wanted to share that little tip with you about cutting them with your bandsaw or your hacksaw, even though they're not coming apart whenever you heat them up to pull them apart. So I hope you guys all have a great day. Please share, subscribe, and thank you so much for joining me. I will be announcing our 2,500 subscribers award and announcement in probably a day or 2, and I'm so looking forward to that, and I thank you guys so much. So I will see you later, and we will